said. Peatlands are important for all kinds of things, for their role in climate, for their role in water, for their role in biodiversity, and specifically also for their role for human beings, for livelihoods. What is important is that peatlands are, you can call it explosive. They are so rich in organic material that if you mobilize them, and that disasters can happen, as we have seen in the big fires in Indonesia and in Russia, and also in all kinds of other environmental things. It is not only the fires and the haze that are the problem. It is a big problem, but it is also the emissions that come from peatlands. Almost 5% of the total global anthropogenic emissions come from peatland. And an aspect that is often overlooked is the problem of subsidence. And because of this loss of organic material, peatlands go down in the temperate zone 1-2 centimeters a year, in the tropics 5 centimeters a year. And it means simply because most of the peatlands on Earth are coastal, that in future we are going to lose substantial tracts of land just in a time that we need lands more than ever. For more people, for less poverty, and for replacing all the fossil resources that we have promised ourselves in the Paris Agreement that we should get rid of. And they have to be replaced by biomass. It is also important that we work on a landscape scale. The landscape scale is important because peatlands are actually 95% water. And water doesn't stand on a hill. It is a comprehensive, coherent mass, and you cannot simply cut half of a peatland and expect that the other half is going to remain like it is. And that's why a catchment approach is very difficult. That is difficult to explain, and specifically also to bring under in legislation, like in Indonesia has problems at the moment. But it is very substantial that we keep that in mind. We have to take a landscape, a catchment approach. Most of the peatlands that create problems have been drained for a purpose of production, of supporting local livelihoods, but also big companies who produce for the world market and bring important products. It is necessary that these kinds of productions are readdressed, are adapted to the special conditions that peatlands have. So with respect to peatlands, it is important to understand their character, and it is important to know where they are. I just came back from Central America, coring peatlands in Nicaragua and Honduras, and even the people who lived in the middle of the peatlands, we had to explain what peatland was. They didn't know, and many countries do not even know that they have peatlands and how to deal with them. It is important that we get more information on the distribution and also on the condition of peatlands. That is a priority, because without knowing what your resource is, you cannot plan. You cannot plan for the future, and you cannot really plan for restoration. So the messages that the report contains are actually simple and related to this water. We have to keep peatlands wet. We have to remain peatlands wet. We have to make drained peatlands wet again. And if we have to use them, we have to use them wet. Peatlands must be wet for the people, for the climate, for the land, forever. Thank you.